Tonight it is a ever stream for Geek Dad Live. So we're gonna talk some Star Wars and maybe some tariff wars affecting some prices. We'll talk about all of that and more tonight on Geek Dad Live. Everybody, and welcome to Geek Dad Life. My name is Jay, and with me is my dear friend Quip. I am in New York. I'm on Long Island for my niece's first communion. So on Long Island today. I am from my in-laws' basement, so I'm a little grainy. If the internet's not too hot, it's blame my in-laws. I'll send you their address, and then tomorrow the family and I, as weather permitting, will be going to see the Padres play the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. So
wow,
that is what we'll be doing. But Quip, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you as well. Happy you made it safely to the Concrete Jungle Wet Dream Tomato, New York, and that's I don't
What is that reference? I don't know that reference.
It's a reference to the Alicia Keys song with Jay-Z.
Yes.
And it's a misread of the lyrics. So it's Concrete Jungle Wet Dream Tomato. Yeah.
Concrete Jungle Wet Dream Tomato.
See, it sounds just like it. But yeah. It's been a long week.
Yeah.
But as always, happy to talk toys, happy to unwind, get into it, and just chop it up, you know?
Exactly. It's like it's what's so fun about the stream. It's like a close and a beginning, you know? It's like wrapping up a week while kicking off a week. And I have been in a Star Wars state of mind, I gotta say, you know, with Celebration, you know, and Toy Geeks doing Power of the Force 2. We got our next episode dropping this Tuesday or Monday, I don't know, whatever we post. Oh, I lost you for a second. Hopefully I'm still here.
Okay, yeah, you're still here. I didn't know if it was me or if it was you. So
it was probably me, because again, basement of parent. If I need to go upstairs, I will go upstairs, and I'll let you Quip do it. So we'll see how long it lasts here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no worries.
But yeah, Toy Geeks has been a lot of fun. We're kicking off 1998. And am I still coming through, or am I getting choppy?
No, you're coming through. You're not choppy at all. Okay, keep rolling.
And kicking off 1998, which is a lot of fun. There's so many things in 1998, but really pumped because Allison Choi, who's been our researcher for the show since the beginning, will be our guest for the first episode of 1998.
Awesome. I didn't know that. So she'll be on camera. That's great.
Yep.
I'm actually doing a thing with Allison Troy and with A Punk with Toys, where they're doing May the Power of the Fourth Be With You, where all month long they've got different streamers, different toy tubers who are reviewing different figures. So I'm in that lineup. I don't want to spoil the surprise. I don't know if I'm allowed to say I don't know what the rules are. I just know I'm collabing with them. But it's awesome. It's exciting to hear that Allison is going to be on Toy Geeks.
Exactly, on Toy Geeks, just not, you know, researching for Toy Geeks. So we already recorded it. It was a fun episode. So that one is coming up soon. And then we have a special guest. We actually have the rest of the guests lined up, but the episode after that, I'm really pumped for. I think we'll be recording it this Friday. So I won't say who the guest is until it's recorded, because they're very busy. And but it's a first-time guest on Toy Geeks, and I'm really excited about it. So
I'm excited.
Stay tuned for that.
Are you gonna go into the episode 1 toys? Are you counting them as part of the Power of the Force? Okay.
But there are in 1998 there are Power of the Force 2 toys that are Phantom Menace characters and stuff. But we will save Phantom Menace for its own series at some point in time.
Cool. All right.
We've got a lot of Star Wars to get into. Like, my hope is now we'll just like every kind of around May the 4th or whatever, we'll do a Star Wars toy line. And there's plenty.
That's great idea.
To go. It's not Mark Hamill. But it's they're
is it Lando Calrissian?
Tangentially I don't want to spoil it because
Okay.
it's been tough getting the schedule because they're a really busy individual, and I'm really thankful that I think we've nailed the date. So once I announce it,
Yeah.
hopefully you all will see what it is. I don't want to
Excited.
like keep teasing it or whatever. It's funny. It's kind of related to George Lucas, kind of. Anyway, but really excited for that episode.
Did you get John Williams? I'm sorry. We're
It's
just gonna
not John.
spend the most of the
It's
episode
not.
guessing.
It's not like that level. The Toy Geeks hasn't gotten to that level yet where we have John Williams on the show, but still pretty awesome guest. Pumped for that. And then so I went back and looked, Quip, in the entire history of doing Toy Geeks, the live streams on Sundays. May 4th has never dropped on a Sunday, never happened. It's landed on Sunday night. And even with doing off Sunday live streams, I have never done a live stream on May the 4th. So Quip, May the 4th be with you, my friend.
Thank you, and may the 4th be with you.
Or if you go New Catholic way, and with your spirit, and with your Force spirit, or whatever.
Yeah, I was thinking that
They
it was. I
changed
didn't
it.
know if they switched it up. Is that a relatively new thing in like one of the D plus series, or where did that come from?
Maybe it's an Andor. But so celebration, doing the Toy Geeks with Power of the Force 2. It's May the 4th today, and Andor is like so good. Anyway, just so I'm definitely in a Star Wars state of mind. Before we get into anything tonight, I definitely want to say hello to the chat. It's hopping as always. Let's say hello. Let me scroll up a little bit. Let's start with, I don't know, Christopher Allison Choi, our special guest this week on Toy Geeks. Make Mine Marvel Legends, Paul Galliano, Pete's Pickled Peckers. I would make Mine Marvel again if I've done already. Cardboard Galaxy, Alpha Magnus, Chad Stewart, with All Faults, Dorlaxian, who was upset I was a little late. Riley Bob is in the house. Smedberg is here as well. Johnny Cocktoy, Manoids, I'll do him again. Stanley, Flash, Craig Hoffman, Marty, McWi-Fi, the Retro Goat is here. Ryan Dole, the Mr. Dolers himself, Mecha Man. I thought Jay was around. No, I've just been touched by an angel. See, I got the light shining over me. Mint with card, Jeffrey
Della Reese. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
My mom loved Touched by an Angel. She watched it like every single week. And Della Reese was cool as hell.
Absolutely.
Matt Bush is here. Tony Johnson, Derek Ova, Shelf Presence gifted 5 Geek Dad Life memberships. Thank you, Shelf Presence. Very kind. Quip's new goatee is throwing me off. I think it's looking good. We're in week 2 now of the goatee.
Week 2 of, I'll clean up the sides. I'm thinking of getting into trying to grow out the sides. That'll be a real struggle. Buckle up for that. But
I'm here for
right
it.
now it's just so when I started streaming, I had the goatee like on Bricks show when you first had me on. It was bushier than this. It's just once it gets past a certain length, like the middle doesn't grow, so it turns into like 2 goatees. It's weird. It's like there's a little bit of what's it called? Mitosis, like beard mitosis, where it splits from 1 into 2, and it's just bad. It's bad. So I'll keep it low. This might be as full as it gets unless I start playing with the micro needling and peppermint oils and all the other
whatever.
fun stuff, so.
Listen, Quip, we're here to support you. We got your back. 100%. Even though somebody in the comment section last week, what was the song?
It was Dirt Lip.
Dirt Lip.
Yeah, and it was hilarious. I literally laughed out loud because I was like, "Yeah, that's what I'll call it." Like my face dirt when I'm trying to grow it out a bit too. So it was a perfect comment. Hilarious.
I am in choppy. I'm sorry for the choppiness for me tonight. Toy Collector Magazine. This upcoming week is going to be a bear, a hungry, bloody cocaine bear. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. But anyway, all right. Quip, we were talking this morning.
Yes, we were.
As we do. Like usually you start thinking about the show way sooner than I start thinking about the show. But today, so we're talking a couple, like maybe a few days before. I think even like Thursday or something. Like, what do you think it's gonna be? And I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. But this morning I hit you up and you're like, so what are we thinking? I think May the 4th is probably right because that was your original take. And you're like, I don't know, but I'm in queue right now to get the Starspeed. Oh, you're in the queue
For
for
Starspeeder 1000. Yeah.
Starspeeder 1000. And the way it was phrased, I thought you were at Disneyland today or something, or Disney World. I was like, oh,
No,
well,
I
why
should
are we
have
doing a live
crazy
stream
today.
tonight if you're in Florida or whatever? So
No.
how did it go today? How was your
So it went
May
well,
the
I
4th
will
drop?
say. So you got all the emotions, but for the audience at home, so one, I think when you texted me, hey, what are you thinking? I want to say that was actually that prompted me, that reminded me to get in queue. So you texted
Oh, okay.
me, I'm looking right now. Let's see, at 8:39. So
Okay.
no, I didn't get in queue right away. I guess, or maybe I just didn't see your text. And when I finally checked my phone, it was like 10:55. And so I was like,
Okay.
okay, cool. I'll jump online 10:55. 10 minutes early is usually what you do. You go to the website, you log
Yep.
in, and then you wait. But then when I went to the website, I was hit with a, hey, you're in queue. And I was just like, okay. So I'm on my phone. Let me check it on the computer. Same thing on the computer. So I said, all right. And then even before it put you in the queue, it gave you this what's it called? Captcha, where it gave you
Sure.
like the digits and you had to read them. And I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
this is neat. So I don't know. Were you actually in line to try and get the Starspeeder 3000?
Oh, yes. Yes, I was.
Okay.
I was.
Okay. All right. So is that how it went last? Like when you
Mhm.
tried to log in, did it let you log in early or did it automatically put you
No.
in a queue?
No, it was a
Okay.
queue, and I think it was a Patreon stream? I don't know if I did it for everybody, but, there was people there. I shared in it together with other people, and it was nuts because it randomly put people in, like, it was kind of a random assortment even though we were there before,
Okay.
and I think Tony Johnson, if you're here, I think he was the closest one, 'cause he got in and it was like he was like 400th in line or something. But
Okay.
for myself, I was 28,000th in line or something
Oh,
crazy like that.
okay. Okay. I didn't remember all that. It's been a while since I watched because I feel like I watched that live too
Yeah,
and didn't.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
30 minutes before. Okay.
Oh yeah, easy, easy. So when I logged in, it said you're in queue, and then once it finally turned to 11, it popped up, and it said I was 6,849th, and I was like, "Ooh, that doesn't bode well." But there's still hope. I was thinking of sending you the Leia GIF from the
Yeah,
end
sure. Of
of
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Yeah, Rogue One. I was like, well, I guess there's hope. There's always hope. But
Help.
then as soon as I texted you that, it dropped down. Like I went from 6,800 and something to like 4,500 something. And I was like, oh, well, that's a huge jump. Like I doubt, well, maybe that many people checked out. Anyways, looking at it now, it's sold out. Thankfully, I was able to get in. And while you were waiting in the queue, it prompted you. It was like, hey, you got 10 minutes to shop.
Yes, that
That's
was the
it.
same as last time. You got a
Okay. All right.
window that you're given. Yep.
So was able to get in, immediately jumped in, was able to secure it. So I am a member of the Star Tours Star Speeder crew. Uh,
Hey, Star Speeder Elite.
yay! So I'm not Star Speeder Elite because then I would need both of them.
Oh,
And no
shoot.
joke, here's how this sickness works.
Okay.
And so I was able to score this one, and this one I was
Mhm.
excited to get. One, I skipped the previous one. Um, and two, this is the version. So this is the newer one. This is the refit. This is the one with the 3D goggle upgrade
Yes.
that is currently at Disneyland and
Mhm.
Disney World, if I believe it's at both of them.
Yep.
And this is the one that I rode this summer with my daughter that restored her faith in amusement park rides. Because while we were out in
Wow.
California, we
Uh-huh.
did the VIP experience at Universal
Okay.
and I had watched the rides with her. We had watched YouTube. Hey, we're going to do this. She had actually just watched her first adult, like big girl scary series. We watched all the Jurassic Park movies, and she was just
Okay.
excited to go on Jurassic Park. So the very first ride we go on is Jurassic Park.
Mhm.
She's looking at the dinosaurs. Oh, this is hilarious. She's laughing because she knows she's not really in any danger. And then, of course, we get to the part like right before the big drop, right? Where you're
Sure.
there and it's trying to come
Yeah.
through the ceiling. And I wrap my arms around her tight because of just the way the seating and the bars are
Yeah.
and everything. Well, I guess she forgot completely about the drop. And when I tell you, when we hit the bottom of the drop, she was
Yeah.
full blown crying.
Oh,
And yeah,
no.
yeah, she was not having it, was not and did not enjoy it. Was completely she enjoyed it up
That's
until
a
the drop.
tough
I'll say that.
drop. I
That's a tough drop, exactly. And she's only 9.
yeah.
So At the
If you
time,
aren't
she was actually
expecting it,
8.
that's a
Yeah, so
good drop.
exactly. So I was like, "No, I had you." She was like, "Oh, I felt like I was gonna fall out," which it is freaky. It was
Yeah,
really her first big kind of like ride like that.
sure.
So that caught her by
And
surprise.
you didn't even like work her up to it, like a Pirates of the Caribbean, like smaller drops, and because that's it.
Yeah, yeah,
It's if you haven't done the Jurassic Park one, at least the Hollywood one,
yeah, yeah.
like it's a good drop. It is a damn good drop.
Exactly. So we did that, and then next ride. So we were at the VIP. So the tour guide's telling us, "Hey,
Hmm.
oh, okay, I get it. You're a little freaked out. Don't worry. Next ride we go on, it's not going to be so bad. We're going to go on the Mummy, and the Mummy isn't half as bad." And now I had never ridden the Mummy, and the Mummy isn't one of
Hmm.
those rides that I had watched a video of because it's kind of like a
Sure.
dark ride too.
Yeah.
But thankfully, the Mummy was broken down. So then we go to
Ah, okay.
Transformers. So we
All
go to
right.
Transformers. Again, daughter not having it, freaked out all over the place,
Oh
shaking
no.
violently, right? Freaked her out so much she didn't even want to go on the Mario Kart ride, which I was like, Mario Kart is not going to be like that. But she was like, I don't believe you. This dude said these weren't going to be that bad. Okay. So at that point, she enjoyed the Harry Potter section. She enjoyed the kids section, like the Wonderful Life of Pets in Universal Studios. But I say all that to say that was her experience at Universal, where she just didn't trust rides.
Yeah.
Next day, we go to Disney. We ride Finding Nemo's submarine, right?
Okay.
Which ease her back into
Chill
it.
ride.
It's
Chill
a
ride.
chill ride. Even then, though, there's one part where there's underwater mines that blow up that she was looking at me like, not again. Um,
Oh.
but she was okay. We were like, nope, just a little bit of vibrations. It's cool. So we did the Finding Nemo ride. We did the Buzz Lightyear ride, which she really enjoyed. And then
Great
after
ride.
that, we did Star Tours. And then
Yes.
after she rode Star Tours, that restored her faith in rides. She was like, Dad, that was awesome. I want to do it again. So we rode Star Tours like 2 or 3 times while we were there.
Oh
So it kind of,
wow.
I got to share this was my favorite ride. And this is what I told her. I was like, okay, Star Tours is, you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be a little bumpy, but you're
Yeah.
going to recognize some of the characters, different things, right? So her going in line, seeing 3PO, R2, even seeing, I think the Rex droid is like in the line too. And she just thought kind of like waiting in the line was a fun experience. And then as we were riding on it, she was like, oh, I remember this from this movie and that movie. So
No,
yeah,
I think that's great.
yeah.
So,
So
okay, so this
yeah.
means something to you.
Exactly. So this means something, not just okay. So 3,000 was when I was a kid, but
Yep.
going back, sharing this experience with my daughter, and then also, this being okay. Now, then I think this ride is the ride that turned her into a Disney fan, right?
Yeah.
Where she's like, "Hey, I
Yeah.
want to go back." So yeah, so I got this. She's excited about it, and then of course, as soon as I bought it, I was thinking, okay, now what figures am I going to buy to put in it? Right? Because you got to fill the seats. And then I
That's
was
the
thinking,
thing. That's the thing. That's what's so great about this set
yeah,
because I have the 3000,
mhm,
and it's got all of these little seats just like the real ride, and any 3 3/4 inch ish kind of figure can sit in it. So in mine, I have like my Jurassic Park Steven Spielberg. I've got
nice.
a Kermit the Frog in there. I've got you have like Boba Fett. I've got like it's kind of can be like a big crossover events of people wanting to get on the ride, which I think is a lot of fun.
Exactly. And I was also thinking, so one, as you were talking Steven Spielberg, and because I was thinking that too. I was like, I remember you mentioning that whether it was in the Discord or whether it was on a different
Yeah,
stream. And then I was also thinking, okay, I know there's George Lucas. I don't know if they've done a 3 3/4 George Lucas. I know they've done a Black Series George
they
Lucas
did
as a
3 3/4
stormtrooper.
inch, but he's like in a stormtrooper suit, I believe. I think
Okay.
it's a
All right. So they've
celebration
done both scales.
exclusive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, but because they have Spielberg and George Lucas, I kind of joked about it earlier. While we were driving, we were talking about, well, of course, this being May 4th, we were talking about lightsaber fights, which one is the best. And my wife and I were talking back and forth because I still was maintaining episode one. She was like, episode one is good, and I will give it to episode one. But
Yeah,
Return of
where's
the
your wife saying?
Jedi is one of her favorites. And so
Okay.
we were just
Jedi is
talking, and
great.
so we were talking a bit. I shared what some people shared in the chat last week of, well, the music carried the fight. And I was like, the music is part of it. It's not my fault that the music is boring during Return of the Jedi. Like, get over it.
No,
John
I
Williams
think
was working on
Return of
both
the
projects.
Jedi I think the music in Return of the Jedi is great because it's so emotional, because he's like, never, and it's like this choral. It's not as like over the top as Duel of the Fates or anything, but it is. I think it's very emotional.
So
The whole
then
thing
that
is more emotional.
conversation,
Yeah.
so it is, right? So she was like, I'll give you episode 1, but don't badmouth like ROTJ, right? And I was like, okay, all right, respect. But then we started going through and talking about just John Williams in general. And about how at the point that the prequels came out, like John Williams has always been that guy, but he had so long. And then we started looking at his discography of like, wait, so he did Indiana Jones, he did Jurassic Park, he did Star Wars, of course, all the Star Wars. What else did he do? Home Alone, Harry Potter. Like, we were like, this man, apparently, he has the record for most Oscar nominations, not wins. But he's got the most ever Oscar nominations.
You know what's wild is he hasn't won an Oscar since since Schindler's List, I believe.
Yeah. So Schindler's List, of course, is also on.
And he's had some
showing his
bangers since then.
Like, clearly. So I'm thinking if they ever do a John Williams action figure, maybe, I mean, honestly, maybe they have. I don't even know what John Williams looks like off the top of my head. Like, they could have easily snuck his likeness into any
Quip.
generic.
You got to watch the John Williams documentary on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I definitely
do yourself a favor. Pop that tape in and let it spin.
I will tune in
because I think it's really good.
Yeah, but I need a John Williams figure for this.
This absolutely. Here's my question to you, Quip. So this thing was $300.
$350.
I'm gonna wait for me to come back from bad internet.
Are you back? Okay.
So they've jacked it up to $350. Don't know if that's tariff prices or just because they can prices.
Disney going to Disney. Yep.
Disney going to Disney. Did you hesitate at all when you saw it was $50 more, or were you pot committed? Whatever, I'm doing it.
No, I was, in for a penny, in for a pound. I used credit card reward points for the bulk of it, right? So after credit card reward points and GDL kickbacks, it only cost me like $5 out of pocket. I was like,
oh hell yeah, awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, I got it.
I'm glad your GDL
it's funding the
are helping.
So it was it was good. So I didn't hesitate one bit. This is definitely something that I'm going to open. The only thing, so this is how the sickness works, right? I guess I started going down that tangent of John Williams and talking about which figures I'm going to use to fill the seats. Sure. Because if I really did want to be elite, and this is definitely how what my brain went to is, okay, well, I've got the 1,000. Do I still want the 3,000? And then if I had the 3,000 and the 1,000, as far as them being vehicles and playsets, would I put like the prequels and the original, like everything pre 2011, like those figures and characters go in the Starspeeder 3000, and then everything like sequels and D+ series, those characters go into the 1,000.
I think 3,000 is original trilogy only.
Okay.
Okay. And then like through the whatever, like Ewoks movies, whatever, like up until prequels. And then 1,000 is prequels to today. That's what I think.
Because I was going off of the 2011 is when they did the refit. So I was going like that was going to be my cutoff date for, yeah.
So 350, you're in.
Yep.
Actually, I have a question to the audience if Dole is still in the chat. So the second this was announced, Ryan Dole texts me. And he's like, we're getting this, right? And so I want to know if he got the 1,000, so that he is truly Starspeeder elite. Because I did not. I had no desire for this. No desire. Because I mean, I guess maybe a little bit of desire. But realistically, I don't have space for this. Like, I already have one. It's huge. That's about as much space as I got. And so I didn't feel as compelled to need this one, even though I do love the Adventure Continues. At Tokyo Disneyland, they had the latest Adventure Continues, so they had the Ahsoka, Mandalorian, and Andor news things, and the one Alex and I got was the Space Whales with Ahsoka.
Ooh, we saw Space Whales with Ahsoka as well.
Yeah, it was great.
In July this past summer. So
it was phenomenal, and I think this is the scenes that you'll get with this one.
Ooh,
Okay,
awesome.
so Dolars didn't go for it, so he won't
Well,
be elite. It's just once you get it, Quip, you'll see how
okay.
big it is. It's a big one. Okay, here's my thing.
Mhm.
You a little shocked to see it's a pre-order. You're not getting it till
That
September.
was yeah, we talked about that a little bit afterwards too, where after I reviewed it and they said, "Oh, this is expected to ship in like September." I think it was September 10th or 14th, somewhere around there. And I was thinking, "Wait, what? Like this is America. I want it now, right?"
Yes.
Um,
Uh,
but understandably so, and that's okay. I said, "Hey, that gives me more time to kind of clear things out." What's kind of funny is not necessarily in anticipation of the Star Tours Star Speeder, but last night
mhm.
started rearranging my setup. See, it looks vastly different, right? That is moved like
Absolutely.
2 centimeters. Or
Yeah,
I'm
all
kidding.
that's gonna go, by the way. It's gonna take up that whole shelf over there.
Yeah. So what I had planned to do was, so you see, like the arc. Sorry, I'll move this way. So the arcade one ups are kind of like boxed up. I might even sell
Yeah,
them
yeah.
off because they've done those compilations. Like I have the Ninja Turtles, and then they've done like the Marvels, or not the Marvel superheroes like combination
Mhm.
on the Switch. So I've got those games now. Do I still need the
Yeah.
countercades? Not necessarily. I'll box them up, keep them in the basement for a little bit, but then out of sight, out of mind. If I go long enough without wanting to put them back, then they're gone. They're getting sold. But
Yeah.
if I move these cereal guys down there and then over here to fill the space, I'm still debating on if I get actual cereal dispensers, like, just keep Fruit Loops and Lucky Charms and stuff
That'd
back there.
be
Cause this is
fun.
also my office. So like if I ever get snacky, I can just turn around, get some cereal from like the cereal bar with the cereal monsters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But this whole upper shelf is gonna be that like
Okay.
for the Star Speeder, Star Tours. And I'm wondering, do I pair the Star Speeder with, so we got the Space Whales and Ahsoka. And then we also got the pod racing. So we
Okay.
like our Star Speeder went through like a pod racing scene. So do I get the old episode one Anakin's pod racer and
Yep.
Sebulba's pod racer and do kind
Yep.
of like a little setup like they're chasing each other on
I
that
think it's
top
what you
shelf
do.
right there?
I
Yeah.
think it's what you do. I
Okay.
think that's the move.
Because as we said, or as you pointed out last stream, Star Wars is about the figures, right? It's about the
Oh,
vehicles, the
it's
vehicles, the vehicles.
the whole
Yeah.
thing. I think it's the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
No, I think that's great. I think it's a great idea, and I think that's how you should approach it. But you got time. You got time to get
I
everything
do.
situated.
To acquire
Okay.
everything, get good prices. Yeah.
So this was up. It's sold out. So there you go. I will say these showed up in Disney like stores, like at parks and stuff. So if you missed out,
Okay.
maybe you'll have another chance. At least the 3000 showed up in stores and stuff like that. Exactly, Ryan Dole. I think it's time Quip expands beyond the closet. I'm just saying. Hashtag let it out of the closet. But we're going to say that if you're stressed, don't worry. There's going to be other opportunities out there. Okay,
There we go.
let's talk. So this sold out. What's kind of interesting is the other stuff on Hasbro Pulse. The things that were unveiled on
Mhm.
the stream this week. Friend of the show from Forlom to Zuckus pointed out that all of those releases sold out on the old Hasbro Pulse. I think they'll probably still be available elsewhere, but interest. I did find that a little interesting that they all sold out. And there's another kind of note that kind of connects to that, which is Hasbro saying that lock in your pre-order price today, which I found
Hmm.
a little bit interesting. I mean, we're kind of in
Yeah.
uncharted times, right? And this was tweeted or blue skied by Yakface, but they are advertising this lock in pre-order pricing today. Current
Okay.
pre-orders end May 9th at 12:01 Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So, is this the new move for toys now? Where we'll have these kind of small pre-order windows, like maybe they won't put as much availability out,
Mhm.
keep a tight pre-order window, and then they'll release more kind of a little bit further down the line that may have the adjusted price for whatever the tariffs end up needing to be. It's just we're in uncharted territory. We don't know how this
Yep.
is still going to land in a lot of ways, and different toy companies are taking different approaches. But this
Mhm.
one was a little bit interesting. To kind of, it seems like they're telegraphing this a little bit, that their own pre-orders sold out pretty quick. They have a
Mhm.
small lock-in pre-order pricing window, and that's kind of your shot to get at whatever price they're saying it's going to be today. Um, what's your thoughts about this, Quip?
I'm of two different mindsets. So, Cardboard Galaxy kind of alluded to it in the chat. My first instinct, not knowing whether or not they're going to add a line item. So the nice thing about companies who are adding a line item that specifically call it a tariff surcharge, um,
Mm-hmm.
which has been controversial in some circles.
Yeah.
Um, what's good about that and why I like that as far as companies being upfront is when they account for the tariff surcharges and they separate it, right? It's easier for the customer base to understand
Mm-hmm.
that. Now there's still a question as to what the legitimacy of the amount of the charge. I know some people feel like companies are gonna scalp anyway. But at
Sure.
least when they're being upfront about separating that versus baking it into the price, post tariff, right? Post whatever goes on in the future with respect to different tariff rates, if it's publicized, hey, China and the US have now come to terms, don't worry, all of this is going to be better, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
We the deal's been made.
Deal's been done. Cool,
Trade
fantastic.
war
Now just
averted
done.
or whatever. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
We're no longer living episode one. Fantastic. That means that they can just as easily take off that line item, right? Customers would expect that line item to go
They
away. And if
could.
that line item didn't go away,
Do you
then we'd say, hey, wait a minute, why are you still keeping this tariff surcharge? Versus
sure.
baking it into the price and just going, hey, well, it wasn't just the tariffs that made
Uh-huh.
it
Yeah.
go up. There are other factors. And so, if you lock in today, this to me almost seems a little ominous. So it's kind of like, hey, lock it in
Kinda.
today. This is your
Yeah.
price. But they're kind of like, get it now because this is the lowest it's going to be because we're going to, in the future, we're anticipating it going up. And if they bake that into the price, then there's really no way of knowing if, well, as always in sales, today's cost is not yesterday's cost. But um, being able to clearly delineate or
Yeah.
identify, okay, this is the surcharge, this is not the surcharge. So if they identify the line item, then cool, this is great. I like that they're being open and honest and upfront and just saying, hey, the positive aspect is this is the pre-order. You've locked in this price. If it goes higher,
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about paying more. If future customers like have to pay more, you don't have to. Because I know that's kind of been the concern. So I'm wondering if they're going to follow suit with the HasLabs. If they follow suit with the HasLabs to functionally say, hey, nope, nope, these things are, you paid what you paid, no increase in the shipping, which have they come out publicly and said anything to that effect as of yet?
No, no.
Okay.
I mean, this is like the most. This is like the Vegas kind, like not Vegas, like the Las Vegas, but the vague
Mhm.
ist kind of illusion too. Like there's the Super 7 thing, which I think people are rightfully kind of peed
Yeah.
off about that because it's
Mhm.
already here. Like
It's here. Why are you
you're
bumping it up
adding a
just as, yeah.
charge to it, even though it's like it doesn't actually count. And the thing is like when we did our big tariff stream, I asked around to different industry folks, and they said they were already accounting for tariffs by kind of putting a little bit of extra padding into the pricing to absorb some of that cost
Yeah.
on like pre-orders and stuff like that. So they're trying to kind of be prepared for increased prices. But the
Mhm.
145% is way beyond anything they were preparing for, and I think that's what's got this whole thing kind of in a whack. But um, so this kind of I agree with you. I would prefer it be a line item because
Mhm.
then you have clear line of sight to see this is the tariff, not a BS vague charge that they don't have to take away whenever ideally, hopefully, these tariff wars have ended or pre tariff wars or deals have been struck because apparently we're gonna get so many good deals within the next 90 days or whatever. But
Yeah.
like so say the most ideal rosy version happens and all of this is avoided, the things that we started ourselves. Um if that happens, okay, then that line item goes away. And to your point, like we're good. right? Everything's honky dory. But to your point, like this, like the lock in the pre-order pricing, and then if the prices just go up, as a lot of people said in the chat, the prices are not gonna go back down, right? It just doesn't happen that way unless people just stop buying and they have to lower them. I think Target had that a bit. Well, plus just the the kind of not like, was it walkouts or just not purchasing from a Target comes from some of their policy reversals and stuff like that. But in most cases, when the prices go up, they rarely come down, right?
But so it remains to be seen what happens with Super 7. Was it an oversight between the website people and the sales people, right? So Pico B1 is referring to it. You mentioned it earlier. So they put a tariff charge on product that are already in the US. Was that an automatic, hey, we just add 8% to everything? Are they, now that they are being called to task, it still remains to be seen how they are going to respond. Are they going to correct those orders? We've seen it with different platforms, different NECA collabs, where like NECA has some sort of exclusive through Walmart, and then they charge for shipping, and then people go, wait, what? And they complain, and then NECA goes, oops, no, that shipping was supposed to be free, and then they reverse charges. So I don't know how long those surcharges have been out. I only know, like I saw Hatter's video earlier on the topic. So I don't know how long it's been this way, and I don't know, it being the weekend, if they are going to course correct, give it a couple of days, maybe they'll refund it. They'll say, hey, yeah, this was an automatic thing, mea culpa, because that's exactly why that line item helps to maintain accountability. So that line item did what it's supposed to do, right? People are going, whoa, time out, hold on. You have this 8% surcharge line item, but this is already in the country. So I would think it would stand to reason that people would do the same thing for in the future.
Yes.
So go ahead.
No, I agree. I do think it's the optics of it, right? And because the thing is, like, I know for a fact other toy companies were already increasing the price to account for. Like, it's not like he wasn't saying that he wasn't going to do this. He was saying, I don't think he expected to be this kind of extreme or whatever. But at least companies that were trying to prepare, we're padding the costs. So I don't know if just Super 7 didn't factor in those costs because they were already kind of pretty priced up there. And now they kind of have to do it, and they're using this as a cover to do it. But it is what it is. Like, it's their business; they're making this decision, and we'll just have to kind of see what happens. The consumers will decide if they want to or not want to move forward. But we'll have to see. And Jeffrey, at this point, this whole tariff thing is a scam because until they're actually paying these tariffs, they're just guessing and guessing prices, charges on it. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're trying to pad their pockets just in case. And
they are.
If they can get more from it, and even if they're not that affected, hey, say the cost only goes up $3, but they're like, let's not have the line item for the surcharge and just shoot it up $6. That way we can line our pockets and cover the cost, and maybe even cover the cost of future things should they go up. Yeah, there's all sorts of business reindeer games going on right now behind the scenes.
And you're right. Like, that you could think that's unethical, but from the business's perspective, if those charges go through, they could just go under, like because the costs that they'd have to put into it. The thing that's kind of crazy about toys is it's such a thin margin business, especially for the mid majors, right? Like Hasbro and Mattel could probably eat some losses and still be fine, but they answer to shareholders and they care about profit above all else. But so, if you have like a 10% profit on something, and then now you have to pay 143% more on top of it, you're kind of screwed. So they're kind of screwed either way, right? But it is. It's kind of it's a foobarred situation no matter what, and it kind of sucks, and it's kind of like so Toy Geeks, we've been doing the Power of the Force 2 stuff, right? We've been talking about it, and I have had the best time going out and buying cheap Power of the Force 2 figures for $2 or $3 or whatever.
They're going up. They're going up. At least on
Are they
eBay,
going up?
Going up. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in person, in toy shops and stuff, pretty not
Still
too
low.
bad.
Okay.
And you're right. Maybe they'll continue to go because that was one of the theories that we had. But like I'm kind of scratching my itch without needing to worry about this crap. So I'm just one toy collector, but I wonder if that'll kind of continue to be the case. I do want to plus in here the super chat from Michael. $10 super chat. Look on the bright side, folks. Hasbro and Mattel are looking to focus more on movie productions and less on toys in the future.
Oh, was that an announcement? Is that a thing?
I don't know. Maybe. I didn't see anything. Well, I know Hasbro was trying to. I thought they kind of backed out on that, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll see. Cardboard Galaxy Cantina Ecto 1 Rattler could really cost them a lot of money to import on product they've already taken money for. Exactly. That too. Like if those tariffs go into effect, the Cantina Ecto 1, these things exponentially go up in price and they're kind of screwed. And I don't think they baked in that level of cost. So we'll see. Can the absolutely can fit? I mean,
do their knees bend?
No.
Okay. All right. So that's what, because I've been looking. I was like, ooh, can they fit? Because this is a good way to get a couple cheaper characters. But go ahead.
The buff ones are a little bit tougher to sit in there.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna need a Lando, like the buffer Lando. I feel like that could be me, like, because like when I'm sitting in the ride in Disneyland, I got ILS, the invisible lat syndrome. I'm a big dude. I gotta kind of no.
Can I just say, like, I'm not a very big dude, but I'm I don't know, I'm 5'9", but I've got thick thighs. I got thick legs. And at least in Japan, people are a lot smaller than I am. And so we was at Big Thunder. We went on with my son Alex, who's really tiny, he's a little itty bitty kid. And the little bar like goes on my lap, and he's sitting next to me. But since my lap is so much higher than his, he's just kind of flopping around in the ride. I'm just holding on to him. I was like, all right, I gotta hold on to you because you're kind of there's nothing really holding you in right now. So anyway. But they will sit, kind of. You'll see the seats like sitting, even if you have the knee articulation. It doesn't sit perfectly in there, I will say.
Okay.
Now people are curious, like, are you like really tall? Like, are you like 6'10" or something? Or
6'1".
Yeah, so pretty. I mean, tall. Yeah. Tall for a toy tuber. You're not as tall as Dan Larson. I think he's still the tallest out of all the ones I've met.
I never think I'm tall because my brother's 6'4". So it's just who I grew up. Like I don't think I'm tall until I see myself in pictures with other people. Like like, hey, here's the division photo or the branch photo, and I'm like standing over. Oh, okay. I guess I am tall. I never think about it.
You're tall. Actually, I've never met you in person, but I'm gonna assume tall. Okay. For my internet to catch up here. All right. Quip. Anything else we want to talk about the Star Wars side of things before we move on? Yeah, Tim Larson is like 6. He's so tall. I think he says he's 6'4" or something, but he might be even taller. But any other Star Wars thoughts before we move on?
No, not well. The Starbucks Discovery series. Did you see those coffee mugs? Where they have the Discovery series for the different states.
Sure, yeah.
I just know this because my wife will collect those coffee mugs. Like, so when we went out to California, I got it to California. She's got DC, all sorts of different areas.
Yeah, my wife does it. She loves the different mugs. Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun. Well, they have Kashyyyks, or Kashyyyk. There we go. All right, we got there. Stuttering Stanley, Geonosis, and Tatooine are the 3 different, and they're pretty
fun.
Cool. Yeah. So can you refresh my memory? Like, what is Kashyyyk the Wookiee homeworld?
Yes, Kashyyyk is the Wookiee homeworld. That's what it is. Originally, Endor was going to be Kashyyyk, and he changed it to the Teddy Bear Planet. But
okay, and then what's Geonosis?
Geonosis is
where they made the clones.
Yes. That's the ocean planet, right?
Yeah. Okay, all right. I was testing my memory, but those are kind of neat. I just thought, they were fun. Kazook.
I've always pronounced it Kashyyyk, but I could be wrong. But Kashyyyk, of course, is in Revenge of the Sith. they finally did the Kashyyyk planet, which is cool. And they do the Kashyyyk. Sorry, Camino. Camino is the clones. No, then Geonosis is no.
Where's Geonosis?
Oh, Bug Planet. That's right. End of Attack of the Clones.
Oh, the factory.
Droid Factory. Droid Factory.
Got it. Thanks, everybody.
I'm 6'3", but I think Quip has more muscle than me. Dan, I mean, again, I know most of us toy tubers are kind of shorter in stature, but God, you have to be taller than 6'3". I have a picture of him and I and John. I don't think I have it close by, but he looks like and I'm 5'9". Like I'm not short, but I'm not tall. I'm just average, but he's like, I'm like looking up at him like this. Anyway, this is so hard to listen to. Why is it so hard to? Oh, because he's really upset
because I was butchering
about our lack of Star Wars knowledge, probably. Wait, I'm off tonight. Y'all can figure this out. Quip is jacked, is what they're saying. Yeah, Kashyyyk. Okay, cool. I was right.
Yeah,
Anywho,
Kashyyyk, yeah.
Dan is listed at 6'5" in the media guide. I like listening to people who say I'm such a nerd. I saw a Star Wars. Oh my goodness. Anywho, let's talk about this latest Mondo release, which is pretty darn cool. They announced that they were going to do like aliens in their soft vinyl style at New York Comic-Con. And at the time, what I thought was really cool, I did a booth walkthrough with the Mondo crew, and they're like, hey, we love the Kenner Aliens toy line, and this is going to be like a love letter to like Aliens, and Aliens is cool, but we love the Kenner toy line. That's what we want to do. And I knew the Mantis alien was going to be the first one.
Yeah.
They didn't share any pictures or images or even sculpts of it. They said, hey, this is going to be the first one. I was like, oh, awesome. That's a perfect one to start off with, like the green and everything. And I think it turned out freaking awesome. Like it looks so good. Artists Brandon Gash, Hector Arce, James Groman. I think it's really, really cool. But what I especially love is they included the Corporal Hicks figure. And again, it's in the Kenner style. I think this is so much fun.
Yeah, I was really surprised by the Space Marine that they included him, because I had also seen the pictures, or I'd seen the pictures from WonderCon. We talked about it a little bit, where they have this green version. And then this is also where the variant is where one Ryan Dole educated me on, because he was like, oh, is this the cherry blossom? And I was like, well, no, the sign actually said it's Sakura. And he was like, well, do you know what Sakura means in Japanese? So I learned that Sakura means cherry blossom. So yeah, because there are just different color schemes that Sofubi has particularly. But yeah, I'd seen these, but they'd only shown off the Mantis alien. So again, really cool. Was not only not expecting the Space Marine Hicks, but not expecting the face hugger, which fits on the face of the Space Marine, which kind of makes him a host, I guess, for the Mantis. Like you can do a whole storytelling with what Mondo is providing you here. Yeah.
It's so much fun. And it's even got a little bazooka blaster. So cool.
And is that the toy that Hicks came with? Because I remember seeing the Kenner toys like on card.
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
I'm really excited to see kind of how these come. I imagine if they're coming together, that's a larger figure, so it's probably going to be more in like a box, like Ray Fillet. I almost said Man Ray.
That's exactly. I think Ray Fillet box. If you didn't, it's I don't know. It's about yay big or so. It was a bigger box, but yeah, absolutely something like that. Very aliensy. Take that Kenner box style. I think it'd be really cool.
Yep, but I remember seeing these. I remember, so these were starting to be discounted at like the local Ames, same time as like I want to say Toxic Crusaders were also like just heavily discounted. So I just remember seeing these, like a bunch of them on shelves.
Yeah, absolutely.
With, like super discounted. Like
getting vintage carded Kenner aliens. They made so many. You can still get them today for pretty cheap.
You hear that, everybody? So anybody who is really getting hit hard, who wants to kind of adjust their collecting habits, just like we were talking about
Go
Power of the
90s
Force.
vintage.
If you can't shell out
For now.
200 to fill out your Aliens line, and as I was saying that, I was also thinking Mondo also hinted at the fact that they're going to do Predators line as well. But you can collect the vintage Kenner Alien if you don't already have them. So yeah, and Toxic Crusaders now, I'm looking at what Gatey Toys or Andrew. Yeah, they are super expensive now.
What is super expensive?
Toxic Crusaders. Like carded, mint on card Toxic Crusaders.
Yeah,
so much
those
so that
were
I've
cheap
considered
for a while, but
yeah,
I had a whole collection card and I sold it.
I did too. I sold it for a song. It's you just
for a
never
lot.
know.
I sold it for too cheap. But here, this one is $29.90. That's a little spendy. Let's see what the actual sold price is. If you wait for $24,
it's not bad.
Here's a whole set.
6. So it's about a little over 25 a piece. Yeah.
1874, but $8.50 delivery. Yeah. $16.99, but $10 delivery. But if you go to a toy shop, I mean, this is a whole set of them here for $160. 8 aliens.
160 and you're done, right? Because is that a complete wave or no? That's just 8 for.
That's a lot of them, but $20.
It's still considerable.
So yeah, about $20 a piece. So if you don't want to spend $200, you could still go vintage and get yourself a nice one. A nice one? A nice one. But yeah, they had
words are hard.
Yeah, on the Mondo page. This looking pretty darn good.
It really is.
It's gonna be hard. I don't think I have room for this, but I do want it. I don't know how I make that happen, but I do want it.
It's
all right.
birthday.
Let's talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
So I think I first saw this on our friends at Toy Habits. That's like somewhere in the computer code or something, or the website code, they were saying that we're going to get another shot at the Snake Lair this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then for Eternia.com pointed out that the picture of the same Snake Lair that we saw at Comic-Con a couple years, like a year or two ago.
Yep.
Kind of reposted with a release year of 2026.
Mm-hmm.
And so that has gotten a lot of people talking that, hey, seems like they're going to take another pass at the promised revised Snake Lair playset in maybe this year. If they're saying 2026, maybe they'll have it ready in time for San Diego Comic-Con. And the thing is we'll see. I'm curious to see how expensive it's going. Just with the whole, again, it's just a tariff thing. I don't know what to expect.
Well,
like, it's going to be smaller, but it'll still be what they say it was going to be like $400 or something. Is it still going to be the same price?
There's also the cost of retooling, right? All that redesign and re-renders and reprocessing. I mean, all that didn't just, come out of thin air. I mean, that costs money.
Mm-hmm.
But how much of that cost now should be transferred to the customers, because what they decided to sell didn't align with what the customers had voted for, though, right? Absolutely. That was the big point of consternation.
Yep. We thought we were getting a kind of Fright Zone scale. Like, it's not as big as a Snake Mountain or a Gray Skull. Definitely not as big as Eternia. Like a smaller kind of play set. And if you saw it at Comic-Con, it wasn't that much smaller than the Eternia playset, which is an absurd playset.
So again, to be fair, like you said, so if they scaled it down, so that's less material, and they made it closer to what fans were expecting based on the initial renders. I mean, of course, it says product may vary, but nobody was anticipating that it would vary that much, right?
Yeah.
So positive thing is they listened to the customers.
Absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
what remains to be seen is whether they leverage the ongoing turmoil with tariffs, whether they cite the increase in cost since the last time they put it out, because things do continue to get more expensive, not cheaper. We'll have to see. I'm curious to see what the renders are like, how different it really is, and if they were smart. Well, no. Wow, that was really condescending. If they were smart, it there are plenty of smart people that are reasonable that I would hope it would stand to reason that within their redesigns, they're going to try and keep it at least around the same cost. Not more expensive. If it's cheaper, huzzah. But as people have already pointed out earlier, things rarely get cheaper. So if they already tested a price point and the consternation wasn't, oh my goodness, it costs this much. The consternation was, but it doesn't look like how we want it. Then they're going to listen to, oh, okay, let's change how it looks, but keep the price. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. But that's it's a lot of ifs. It's a lot of who knows. This is what I hope. This is what I hope, Quip.
Mm-hmm.
That it's I think chat, I think Paul brought up like, hey, why are we doing a crowdfund or whatever? And Allison Troy pointed out that it was always going to be a crowdfund. The problem with it was, I think they said, okay, well, we got to make it, $300 or whatever the price was that they put on it. So we got to make it even bigger and whatever. And it didn't meet the moment, right? I'm in my parent in-law's
basement. He's in timeout.
I'm in timeout. So my internet's a little shoddy. I kind of cut in and out here and there, but it's been okay. It's been passable, right, Quip? Hopefully passable.
It's been good. It's been good. It's been good. There we go.
Okay. Yeah. So my hope is that it's cheaper, right? My hope is it's like around $100.
That would be nice.
Maybe that's wishful thinking in this post-tariff world, but that's my hope. And I hope it's at minimum no bigger than Castle Grayskull, like front to back. If it is Castle Grayskull size, I don't know how it is. $100, it's probably $150. If it's a crowdfund, just because the retail release Grayskull was $75, maybe it was $80 all in.
True.
So a crowdfund's going to be a smaller MLQ, so at least then they throw tariffs and I don't know, maybe it's $200, and that's just like, that's too much. I'm good. And
I wonder what Club Grayskull will get you on this, right? If you might get some sort of perk, right? I don't know.
Yeah. So wait and see. Yeah, $200 in pump figures. Yeah, if they throw a bunch of figures in there, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind spending $200. Right? I'd be okay with that. They got to be cool figures. They can't just be like no names.
It's a smart way to recoup costs because I mean the whole Origins line is all about reuse. So,
exactly.
Yeah, get creative. Yep. Give us some characters we haven't seen, and
so
throw them in.
Yeah. That I would be okay with, Patrick. I think it's a fair.
It's smart.
A fair kind of spot for it to be in. If Mattel could bring this in around $100, then it likely could go to retail. Mattel's point of crowdfunding something bigger that you can't get in retail. I guess I just don't want it. I don't want it big. I don't think anybody wanted it big. But yes, a Snake Modi is a must. Snake Keklar is a must. That'd be fun. I don't know. Just have fun with it. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I'll be excited to see the new renders when they really do put it out there. But it's exciting to see movement. I texted with Derek Hoover about this because I know he was asking a couple weeks back. He's like, what has happened to that Snake Lair? Like they put it out there and then it's been radio silence. It's not like they've been giving updates, but here's an update. So
yeah,
time to start saving the ducats.
It's kind of it's not like an official. Hey,
that's true.
Go about it.
Yeah.
So we'll see, I guess. Well, we'll see.
We'll
It
see.
seems like something's going to happen.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
So whenever something officially does happen, you best believe we'll dedicate more time to it. But this is kind of like, hey, there's like pre-tremors of a potential Motu quake.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's that. That's that. Quip. I think that's about it for tonight. We'll keep it short tonight as I have crappy internet, but Star Wars. Dole was questioning our fandom of Star Wars. And sorry if we don't always remember every single name of every single planet. Okay.
I'm definitely a casual fan. So
I feel like I'm not a diehard, but I mean I love Star Wars. I really do. But Quip, what's your favorite Star Wars moment?
favorite Star Wars
And
moment.
folks in the chat, drop your favorite Star Wars moment as well. We'll plus some of them in.
I've got to go with Darth Maul appearing in the hangar bay when as soon as Duel of the
You are
Faces
all
starts.
about that episode
Just that
1.
so you have to understand, right? Born in 87, the first ever Star Wars that I saw in theater. I'm gonna go into this a little bit when I do the figure review for Allison and a Punk with Toys. But that was the first ever Star Wars movie that I saw on the big screen. So we're talking, fade to black.
Sure.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Absolutely, yeah,
Boom, like Harden with the trumpets, right?
Yep.
So that really was just earth shattering. And then even I'm thinking back like goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it now, where even in the trailer where they show, okay, Darth Maul's got like one lightsaber. The second saber comes out, mind blowing. So
That's true.
mean,
So you saw that in theater you didn't see that on the trailer? Wait, did you say the
so
trailer?
I saw that. No, so I saw that. I was saying in the trailer
Okay,
that was mind blowing, right?
Yes.
People lost
Absolutely. It was incredible.
And so to see that as part of the movie, right, where he enters and it's coming, but he's got the hood, he drops the hood. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan look at each other like, all right, let's scrap. They drop their cloaks, they're like, let's get it.
Yep.
Just that whole like that moment is
Okay.
Yeah, that is what stands out to me. There's lots of love all of the universe, all sorts of cool things happening, but if I have to pick one, that is the one moment for me.
Okay. I love it. Brick something. Mine's a musical cue. End of credits transition to the Star Wars fanfare gets me every time. Are you saying so when the roll stops and it does like the that part? That is really cool if that's what you're talking about. But they're all good. I think my favorite is Luke screaming Darth and giving them beat down. He doesn't say Darth. He says, I thought it was like never. I thought it was never. That's what I thought happened. Because he's saying a sister. You have a sister. Obi-Wan was wise for keeping her from me. Now his failure is complete. If you won't turn to the dark side, perhaps she will. Never. I thought that's how he responded to it. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
The hype for episode 1 was unreal. Still haven't seen anything like it. Closest we got was Batman 89. Then perhaps she. Oh, it's just so good. I gotta watch. I may go put on the end of. The only problem is like the Disney Plus Return of the Jedi has the no, but whatever. We'll roll with it. Jedi Rocks. That's fun. From the special editions. But Jay may have seen that movie a few times. I was like, okay, I was good. All right. Let's see. Yoda explaining the Force on Dagobah gets me every time. Oh, it's a great one. Jay
great
Solo
moment.
Arts.
Frank Oz, fantastic.
So good. Maybe I'll watch that real quick. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna literally when we stop. I'm just gonna go and watch all of these moments. I know. So that my wedding band that I wear more often than not, Colleen and I have these Star Wars rings.
Oh, wow.
So in what's the Star Wars language? It's like Marrakesh or something. In the chat will tell me because I'm not a true fan. But so it's in that language. Hers says, "I love you," and then mine says, "I know." So that's our wedding bands. Eight AT-ATs showing up on Hoth was pretty epic for me. Kenobi and Anakin fight in Revenge of the Sith. I do think that's incredible.
Great one.
I'm a Jedi, like my father before me. The capture of R2-D2 by the Jawas in New Hope. As a kid, that was when I was transported to another world. I still remember seeing that as a little kid as well. When we went to see remasters for the first time in theaters, when the rating screen came up and someone screamed, "It's green!" Everyone cheering and lit up their lightsabers. I still think of it. That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Way too many moments. Leia hearing Luke on Bestman gives me chills. That's a really good one. That's a really good one. $2 super chat here from Toka Oroku. John Williams was a character in Rise of Skywalker.
Good to know.
That's dope. Let's see. Oh, seeing hyperspace for the first time a bit. It's just still amazing. You're talking about Star Tours, like experiencing that in Star Tours is still incredible. And then the Smuggler's Run ride is a ton of fun.
Ooh, Smuggler's Run is really fun. Which position were you like when you were in Smuggler's Run?
I think I was one of the weapons in the back, and then Alex, who was really small at the time, he just passed. He was like 39.5 inches or whatever. He was one of the pilots, and he couldn't quite figure it out. So like I was helping him do his pilot thing while doing the weapons or whatever. We didn't do very well. We lost a lot of money that day. And I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Yeah. The trash compactors. Anybody said the trash compactor scene? R2, shut down all the trash compactors on the detention level.
Shut down all trash compactors on the detention level. Oh no, they're dying, R2.
that is like if that's a good one. I think. Oh man, so many different.
Arabesh. Arabesh.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Rogue One, so good. So good. I'm waiting to watch Rogue One again until Andor season 2 completes. Andor season 2, this last set episodes. You can ask Colleen. Not to spoil anything, but it was just so intense. Like, and I'm a pretty chill guy, but like my anxiety level was to the point that I could not watch. I was like pacing the room. Just yep. You can.
Okay. I'll probably have to watch Andor season 2 by myself then, because my wife is the same way, very anxious. So like, have you watched?
I'm not though. I'm not anxious. And I'm
anxious. So I'm saying, so she can be. So I'm like, I don't want to stress her.
They just hit me in a way. Maybe she'll be fine. Maybe she'll be fine. Luke Skywalker on the Muppet Show was pretty cool. I thought that was awesome as a kid. Watching Revenge of the Sith in theater again. I can't wait to see more Star Wars on the big screen. I'm bummed I missed it. I begged my family. I begged if we could go. But my kids hate Revenge of the Sith.
It's a slow burn.
Well, no, actually, I don't think it's a slow burn. They just don't like that Anakin goes to the dark side.
And all right.
My oldest, Zach, loves the clone troopers.
He so when they turn,
and he hates that they're bad guys. They kill all the Jedi. And so it kind of like he just doesn't acknowledge that happened, so he can still play with his clone trooper toys and not be upset about it. How they took away Death Star throne room lightsaber battle, the emotional build. Exactly. I think that we've been talking about favorite lightsaber, but I think that's still my favorite. Just so incredible. Let's see. Love can't save you, only my new powers can. Anyway, a lot of good Star Wars stuff. We give Star Wars a lot of crap sometimes, but I still think it's some of the best mythology in the modern world. And when Star Wars is good, when it's right, there's not quite anything like it. It's pretty damn special.
Absolutely.
So I hope everybody has an incredible rest of May the 4th. and a Revenge of the Fifth tomorrow. And the Star Wars content will keep coming in the GDL verse. Toy Geeks will do 1998 Part 1 for Power of the Force 2. That'll drop probably Tuesday morning. So definitely check out the Toy Geeks YouTube page if you haven't yet. It's on the Geek Dad Life front page. You scroll down and subscribe so you don't miss any of it. This week it's Allison Troy. The next week, very special guest. Really pumped about that guest Git. And then we will close it out with 99 and 2000. And then
Awesome.
after that, Quip, I'm really excited for the toy line we're going to jump into after Star Wars. Not to get ahead of myself. But really excited for that one. I celebrate Revenge of the Sixth. Nice. Actually, damn, Ryan's right.
That one, that is better. That's better. Is that a Canadian delay? Kind of like, Boxing Day or Thanksgiving, how you don't do Revenge of the Fifth, you do Revenge of the Sixth, which I will say is better.
Sixth does kind of work better than Sixth. Yeah. Even though Fifth is like Sixth.
But the Fifth is Cinco de Mayo, as somebody pointed out, right?
Yeah, but Cinco de Mayo is kind of a terrible holiday. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's fun. You'll never have to give me an excuse to eat Mexican food and drink margaritas. But either way, Revenge of the Sixth is fun.
Yeah. This is fun.
We'll see. Dax Mill, when Star Wars is right, it's a fairy tale in space. Disney doesn't seem to understand that. Yeah, or it can do a lot of things. And I know people are kind of upset about Andor or whatever, but I like that Andor is Star Wars for adults. Because there's still I like it. I like it in that sense. And I think it's some of the most compelling stuff that's been done with Star Wars in a long time. But absolutely.
I like when they explore other aspects of Star Wars, though, too,
exactly.
Right? Star
Wars
fun
about it.
Well, actually, let's say this. I know we all feel like we personally own Star Wars, but Disney does. So Star Wars is whatever they say it is. But whatever they do choose to explore doesn't take away from the original trilogy, unless you're putting Hayden Christensen in as a Force Ghost at the end of Return of the Jedi. Then that is ruining your childhood. But apart from that,
I guess so. That does ruin it. I thought you were about the Force Ghost in Ahsoka. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Okay. But no, it's kind of like just exploring different aspects. You touched on it a little bit in the most recent episode of Toy Geeks, where it's like, does everything have to go back to the Skywalkers? Like everything, everywhere, in every corner. Like it's nice when they explore somebody else's story.
That's I think what about Andor? Yeah, no Skywalker.
But then it's like, okay, well then here comes Luke. Well, we got to work Luke in there somewhere, right? It's okay. Can we learn about other people that are part of the rebellion or that are part of the Empire? It tells a complicated story, exploring different character arcs, what's good, what's bad, where's the gray area. All in all, I mean, Star Wars is a soap opera in space. So
and just the intensity, in Rogue One by extension, like Rogue One and Andor, what I love about it is it kind of it shows that all the work that isn't lightsabers and Skywalkers to make the rebellion successful, and then show the evil of bureaucracy, just the very casual evil that kind of envelops in totalitarian empirical situations is really compelling. But it's a lot more multi-layered. It's not as simple as good and evil, red lightsaber, blue lightsaber, battle it out. But I still think it's incredible.
I love, as far as movies go, so okay, in the trilogy series, right? I know I go on and on about episode 1, but Rogue One, as far as filling in the gaps and explaining where that vulnerability was baked into the Death Star, because you had somebody who was trying to protect their family and recruited in order to design and to build the Death Star, right? And understanding that, growing up is understanding that, after the trench run, yes, you celebrate the rebellion has won, big picture. But growing up is understanding there were probably contractors. There were people that didn't necessarily
It is the what is it?
Yeah.
What the hell is it? Clerks. It's the Clerks.
It's the Clerks dilemma of everybody on there. So, I mean, then you could start to have the discussions, and that's what's great about Star Wars is it's prompting the discussion, right? Not necessarily trying to convince somebody not to like, or that they have to like something that you like more than whatever their top moment is or their top movie is. It's just it sparks conversation. It's about the human experience. And that's what Star Wars is about, right? It's not necessarily A, B, or C. Star Wars can be whatever it can mean, what it means to you, but Star Wars isn't yours. Star Wars is everybody's.
Exactly.
So,
and owned by Disney. TM.
And owned by Disney.
All right. On that note, we will end tonight's episode. Maybe as Quip freezes, or I'm frozen right now, and I'm resetting.
No,
am I back? Okay.
Yeah.
So again, happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you all. And have the best rest of your Sunday and great start to your week, whether it's Revenge of the 5th or the 6th. And definitely be on the lookout for the next Toy Geeks episode. We'll be back next Sunday. And we'll do an After Dark as well. No After Dark, because again, I'm on not so great internet and I'm in somebody else's house. It just looked like I was freezing. I'm sorry, folks. But okay, good. Everybody have the best night. We'll see you all next time. Hasta luego and goodbye.